Welcome cooks to our Saturday morning tip of the week. On today's show, I'm going to show you how to use a chimney to start your charcoal. I have a buddy at work who kind of scared me when he tells me he prefers to use lighter fluid. Now, I don't have any lighter fluid, but 91 octane does about the same stuff. But the problem is it leaves a nasty taste, and then you have to worry about how long until you can put your food on the grill. By using a chimney, you avoid all that problem. So join me as I show you how to use a chimney to start your charcoal on our Saturday morning tip of the week. So starting a chimney is pretty simple. We just have this chimney here. It's got a bunch of holes on the side here for airflow. It's got the area in the bottom that you put your newspaper in, and then the capacity of how much briquettes you actually want to put in there, or charcoal should I say. You know, sometimes you might only use half, sometimes you might want to fill up all the way. Paper is a good idea, right? It only takes a couple of sheets to do it. And then something to light it with. In this case, we're using a lighter, but you can also use matches as well. Charcoal, there's a couple different varieties. I want to bring this up because I'm actually going to be using something today called lump charcoal. This is pretty much what we're used to using. These are briquettes. Kingsford is obviously a common name. These things burn well, they're uniform shape, all that good stuff. But they also have a bunch of binders in them, aka glue, resins, whatever, that holds them together. Produces a lot of ash. Some people aren't a fan of that. Then we have something called lump charcoal, which is basically pieces of wood, although some brands might use hardwood flooring and building materials and char them. The advantage of this is they burn hotter, allegedly, but they definitely produce less ash. And because there's no binders, there's no off flavors. The problem is they're not uniform. From the same bag, you can see they've got some small pieces, large pieces, medium pieces. So the problem is, how do you get it to evenly light? Well, you could have a problem. Put what you can in the charcoal chimney and let it rip. But do your best to use even sized pieces, maybe all large, all medium. But if you use some stuff that's too small, by the time it ignites, it might just fall through the grates. It's useless, so probably avoid these little guys. A couple of common brands is Royal Oak and also Cowboy. They're both available at most major stores, pretty much year-round. They do cost more than like Kingsford, for example. Plus, if they are on sale, you'll never get them as cheap as you can Kingsford when typically, you know, 4th of July, Memorial Day, those are great weekends. We've done videos on it to show how cheap it can be. But these are still great for those times that you do want to use this. And then there's Kingsford, but we won't be using this today. So step one is we're just going to go ahead and take some newspaper. Only takes a couple of sheets, water it up underneath there. And now for the charcoal. If you're just using a bag and you want to dump it in there like you're using the briquettes that are evenly sized like Kingsford, it's not a problem. If you're using lump charcoal, you might want to pick out pieces that you want to use. For me, I've already done some of that. So you can either use tongs to individually put them in there, or just dump them in. So now for the fun part here, we're just going to light it. So just tilt on the side, do that, a couple of spots, tilt it back. We got some good flames down there. We got some smoke coming up here. So over the next 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, the flame will work its way up. It'll start to gray near the bottom. It'll get red and gray, and then towards the top. Now, because this is lump charcoal, it might look a little like the 4th of July with fireworks everywhere because it tends to be dry, because it is wood, right? And it just, I don't know, I'm not gonna say the word explodes, but you do get a little fireworks, so you may have some sparks flying. So we will come back in a little bit when it's done. All right, these guys are about as done as they're going to be. So now the fun part, right? So go ahead and lift this little metal thing up here. So I'm just wearing gloves because this stuff is kind of hot. I've got a little clampers here because the metal's kind of hot. I'm just arranging these guys so they're going to be in the middle because I'm getting ready to do some meat that I want to do over direct heat, so I want those guys together. So you got to be careful when you pour this stuff out because you could get flames coming out both ends, so you definitely don't want to get surprised by that. And poor Amy's downwind, and she's getting a little bit of this stuff. So, all right. And then a lot of times what I'll do is you can just put this stuff, because it's very hot, just put it on some bricks. If you've got concrete, if you've got a metal table, if you got something, just put it on that. It'll cool off eventually, but you don't want to burn yourself. This stuff is very hot. These tongs are great help. And I'm just adjusting that stuff slightly. Don't want to touch them too much. And that's all there is to it. Is that going to fall? So let's get the grate on here. All right, so now we're ready. So unlike the gasoline or lighter fluid method or even match light, we're ready to cook right now. I don't need to wait. So that's how good this stuff is. So I think I'm gonna get some tri-tip going, boo. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this Saturday tip of the week. If anything, if you've never used a chimney before, hopefully you might consider using one. When we first got together, me and Amy, we got a Weber, and guess what? It didn't do too well because I didn't know how to use it. I didn't have a chimney, I didn't have nothing. And we went on gas for 10 years straight. So hopefully you won't wait as long. Charcoal has a lot of good stuff to it than gas doesn't. But gas is convenient, we understand that. But hopefully this will help for you. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up or a like and leave us a comment. And go to our website, amylearnstocook.com. We're also on Facebook at Facebook/groups/AmyLearnsToCook. We're also on Twitter at Amy Learns to Cook and Instagram at Cooking with Amy.